Have you ever thought about the blend of energy work with interior design or holistic feng shui? Yeah, it's kind of a new concept to me. And that's why I brought Linda on to the podcast. And it's why I was so intrigued by her work right from the get go. This is part two of our in-person collab recording. And so if you haven't listened to part one, I would go back and listen to episode 89 before you listen to this one, because this collab literally is going to pick up where that one stopped. And so it's not going to make any sense to you if you don't go back to episode 89 and listen to that. But Linda is just such a fascinating human being, such a beautiful soul inside and out. Just sitting in her presence was expansive and magnifying. And yeah, she's just an amazing professional and powerhouse in every sense of the word. And I just really hope that you enjoy this listen, even if feng shui or interior design isn't your thing, isn't a topic that interests you. It really doesn't matter. You'll still really enjoy this episode, because chances are you're going to learn a lot from just listening to her. Specifically in this part two, we dive a little bit deeper into the designing of the Alchemy House and some of the little tidbits about her space in Galena, Illinois, and why she did certain things the way she did, and how she blends her energy work, her healing work into the interior decorating and designing that she does. It's such fascinating work, you guys. All right, I don't want to waste any more of your time, so why don't we dive on into part two? I hope you enjoy.
Welcome to Next Level You podcast. I'm Stephanie Dingbaum, your host, your biggest cheerleader, and your go-to girlfriend for real, raw, and uplifting conversations about leveling up in life. As a mental health therapist with over a decade of experience and a business coach helping women elevate their lives and businesses, I'm here to guide you through the mindset shifts, holistic practices, and manifestation tools you need to step into your most authentic, next level self. Whether you're here to ignite your personal growth, elevate your professional game, or simply rediscover you, this podcast is your invitation to dream bigger, go after your goals, and unapologetically claim the life you deserve. So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's dive in. It's time to uplevel, manifest, and glow.
So many avenues I feel like we could go down with this feng shui. I'm just really interested in it. So as a therapist and even as a coach, I naturally want clients to feel more grounded in the space. Even though I meet with coaching clients virtually, I understand I don't have control over their environment, but I want them to feel grounded when we're in sessions. Specifically though, with my therapy clients, I very much want them to just feel completely grounded in that space. And if somebody wants to bring that grounding energy into a room, what suggestions would you have for something like that?
So when you're saying when you're on the chat with them,
I guess
feel grounded?
It's twofold. Specifically in my therapy office, I think it's really important that clients feel grounded in that space. But if a listener wanted to make a space more grounded, what suggestions would you?
Well, a couple things come up.
Yeah.
But one is what's underneath your feet.
Yes. Okay. Yep, I can see that.
So, depending on the colors, the textures, and how you want to ground that space, I would say a rug would be a really good thing. And one that and when you think of grounding in a rug, and I think a lot of the mistakes that people make is they go too small. And one of the reasons why I think people make that mistake, and I'm not just accusing them that they don't want to spend the money, but rugs are really expensive. And the bigger you go,
they are.
I'm guilty of it upstairs. I'm like, oh my God, this rug is $3,000. It's going to be almost $4,000 if I go a little bigger. I made it work. I got it down, and
you're right though.
But it's a big deal. And so bedrooms are one of those things. Headboards. There's a lot of different ways we can go through each room as to how that could be grounded. But in an office setting, for instance, or in a room that they're going to be sitting in during your session, I would say a supportive back to a chair. So, even in your office chair, like you don't want something that's super low. You want it to be a little throne-like. Like you want to bring the support to the back, to the shoulders.
Okay. Yeah.
So I would say being in an area where your feet are rooted onto the floor. So beginning any session in like coaching, therapy, or whatever, I would say getting very cozy and rooted in your seat, making sure that your back is supported.
Okay.
That you're wearing comfortable clothes, something that feels like loose enough to kind of just be, nothing that's going to constrict any sort of like feeling during the session. Really rooting the feet onto the floor and either, having no shoes on and feeling the rug with your toes.
I do that in the summer.
Yeah. It's just like such a cozy really little moment.
Yes.
And, if it's somebody that has like, hold a mala bead, like, hold something where, you can just take the beads and go through the hands while you're having all of these sensations,
like a bucket
or
of
hold a stone.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite things to do and to start before I, am in a session or after I'm done with a session is gazing at a candle. It's a meditative.
Okay.
I always think that lighting a candle,
You did that one. Yeah.
it really just sets the tone of the space and brings a relaxing vibe.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
And so even just, maybe taking a couple minutes with your clients and just saying like, hey, let's do a little check-in. Like, how are you feeling? Like, look into the candle, do a couple breaths.
I love this. Okay.
If we're talking about a bedroom, the headboard's a really big, important part of the bedroom.
I could see that.
And if it's not stable, it can affect your sleep.
So what if you don't have a headboard? Like we just got a new bed in the last year and we still don't have a headboard.
One of the main things I would tell you is that you need to get a headboard.
Fascinating.
And you need to get one that's going to be supportive. Is your bed in front of a window? Or is it like grounded by a wall?
It's up against a wall, but not directly. No, there's a wall behind our bed.
Yeah. So you can you'd be able to build something to the wall.
Yes.
So it doesn't have to necessarily be like a headboard.
Yeah. We're definitely not going to purchase one. We would definitely make one because it's an adjustable split bed. I know we have that. Yeah. But it didn't make sense to get a headboard really because of that. So it would have to be one that's nailed to the wall or something like that.
Yeah. So that would, have you noticed anything with your sleep since you haven't had a headboard, or do you feel pretty good?
But in the last year, my hormones have been balanced. And so I just naturally, I sleep so much better than I ever have. But yeah, I never thought about it in terms of the setup, something as simple as a headboard.
Yeah.
Impacting.
Yeah. Or at the end of the bed, grounding something at the end of the bed. It just depends on the room.
Well, and somebody told me, I think it was in a Reiki session, they said to put some sea salt under the bed.
That's interesting.
And I can't, she told me why, and I can't remember now because it was over a year ago. And so I use seashells that we got from Florida that naturally have the salt on them. And so I just have that in a little bowl under.
We have attunements where we definitely do adjustments where we put things under beds.
Yeah. I don't
for different reasons in life, depending on things that they say or that come up with, integrating their life and what they're, trying to achieve or where they're at and in the room or whatever. Yeah. There's some bed ritual things.
Oh, I'm sure. So, yeah. Even in terms of lighting, and that's a whole, I feel that could be a whole
lighting. It's definitely, the color of the lights, but even curtains and shades. I mean,
interesting.
Materials and texture play a huge part in a lot of that. Even a cozy blanket. That's why people have weighted blankets, right?
Yes.
I mean, there's a reason behind that for a grounding aspect. So I guess it just really depends on the person.
For sure.
But those would be some of the grounding techniques that I would bring into the space.
Okay. What role does healing play in your interior design and Feng Shui? Does somebody's, you kind of already alluded to this in some ways, but does somebody's healing journey come into play ever?
So I think that healing would be where you are and where you want to go.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
And so I think that if somebody is on the healing journey, they've thought about or they've brought up different aspects of what that means.
Right. Potentially past lives or, yeah, I do agree with that. That makes sense. Like knowing that about myself has impacted how I decorate my spaces. So I could see that playing into somebody's, how they're decorating a home, how they're setting up a business or an office space or, yeah, I could see that coming into play.
And I think that when you're in that shift or in a place where you are healing, you have to think a little bit more forward.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times what you're doing is you're just kind of taking inventory of what you have and where you want it to go, because you can forward think what you're designing. Based, not necessarily like, right now I'm healing. I mean, we can put certain stones and we could put colors and we can play into those moments in that. But when you think of like an entire home, you want supportive areas for supporting their healing journey.
I love that.
So I think it wouldn't be necessarily, changing the house around healing as much as it being a space where they feel like they can go home and be supported, like wrapped in a blanket. It's like their home is part of their support system during their healing journey. So I think that would be probably the best way for me to say that the interior design or the intuitive design or the feng shui or anything would support that journey. So like I actually went on a pretty deep healing journey during this house. And I would say that one of the reasons I bought this was because on my journey, I needed the space that I can create because I was creating for everybody else. And it was one of the main intentional reasons why I bought this place. What came out of it, because healing is a journey and healing takes time. But what came out of it was definitely a space where I come in here, and not just me. I mean, other people come in here and they just want to settle and they just want to sit and they just want to stay. And you go outside and I water for hours and I feel so damn happy.
Yeah.
And it's something that I wanted in my life. So, and I didn't know I needed it until I started creating it. So, I mean, that's the unraveling of this journey, right? Yeah. It's really getting to know what it is that you want so that we could bring that to life.
I love that. Yeah. Okay. This is kind of switching gears a little bit, but what really drew me in was when you had that post on Instagram about your half door, because it's just something that you don't see every day. And so
yeah, I love that.
You're going to need to follow her, the Alchemy House on Instagram if you don't know what I'm talking about, but explain to me the why behind it, or explain to me like the impact of the half door.
Honestly, I have always liked, I call it the Mr. Ed door, right?
Okay.
So, a horse door. And so I've always wanted, a half door. And when I first bought this house, there was this big, thick, funky door. It had no windows.
Right there?
It's like at the end of a hallway.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this doesn't work for me. It doesn't have a lot of light. There was a lot happening here. Didn't have an island, which I created. Didn't have any lights over the island, which I created. Like there was just not these little areas.
Well, and I could see, because that's a hall, I could see a big solid door. That would be a very dark area.
It was.
If you didn't have that window even in the door and the concept of being able to open the top part. Yeah. Okay.
And so, I mean, really what it was I had this beautiful wraparound porch.
Okay.
Completely, I was screening it in and, I can have fresh air.
Yeah.
And open the door. And I don't have to worry about bugs coming in because it's got this whole vibe. So it just worked perfectly for that space. And then when I researched what the half door,
what
the half door was, I'm like, oh my God. So that's in my wealth area. And so it gives
for you specifically.
Yeah, for this house.
For this house.
For this house specifically. That bathroom and that section there, which we can go into like the wallpaper, which I didn't know about that either. I didn't know that was my wealth area because I hadn't started the feng shui yet. Oh. And I had already had that picked and out there.
So it's almost like you just like
there's like galloping horses, there's fun, beautiful colors, and it's all about like bringing in wealth. It's amazing. So, which is really good for a bathroom because that can be that can be a flushing out. But I have all these other elements that really played into it. So this door, when I researched it, because I was like, all right, well, is this bad? Because now I have like this half door that's like cut.
Okay.
And I think you could probably look at it many ways, but you have the ability to like stay grounded, but still let more in.
Okay.
And so overall, that's kind of what the post was about. And they can go on and read more because there's definitely more into that.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh my God. It's just another thing. And again, why I call myself an intuitive designer, because I can just go and create. So I looked back at other houses that I had designed and I laid the bagua and I looked at all the aspects, like literally from textures,
so
color,
intuitive,
where things were laid. Yeah, so it's just, it naturally happens for me. And like I told you before we even started this podcast, like I'm not going to be any good because it's hard for me to explain what I do. I just do it.
And you're flowing.
Thank you. I mean, I'm passionate about it. You are. And the energy behind it like makes me happy and I love what I do. But I mean, genuinely, a lot of these things were picked just naturally. And then when I went back and looked at it, like there was always a purpose. And I'm going to start posting a lot more about the bagua because I'm just starting to introduce like my services. Who am I? What is this? So if people follow along, like they're going to get to understand like, in this area right here specifically, why did I pick this paint color? Well, this paint color was already picked, but it happened to be in the fire section. So like this is a fire color.
Yeah. Yep.
I could have picked another color.
I love it.
You know? Thank God for my painter. She helped me out because I had like 50 different colors.
Oh, I bet.
It was between two. I'm really happy we went with this.
I'm really happy with it. And the gold complements it just perfectly. And
So I'm going to post all about these little tiny tidbits because it's really important. And I'm using this as an example house. Like this isn't like, oh my God, everybody has to live like this house. This is just a really good example as to why colors, textures,
why it matters.
And I get to feel it while I'm in here. It's really calming.
Yeah. And, in the world of Airbnbs, and so many people are, marketing their Airbnbs to be appealing and attractive to the eye and attract buyers and vacationers. And there is just such a need for a service like this because I mean, what we've been talking about up till this point has really been about like the energy you want to bring into your home. But then you could go down a whole different path with these, like the Airbnb market with like, well, what vibe do you want to give off to vacationers? And obviously your location matters with that. And, how do you want them to feel when they're here? And I mean, that's like a whole nother ballgame.
Total dream. Like if anybody's listening and they just want to open tons of VRBOs or even hotels, I've always said, I just would love to be a hotel designer because, when you're trying to rest outside of your normal bed, that's a whole thing. I just, with the spa background, the beauty industry and just like my furniture purchasing and all the things that would be ideal. But realtors would be a huge, customer of mine because when people are selling their houses, there's a lot of energy behind that. And there's a lot of different things we can help customers with when they're selling their house. So I mean, there is so much.
Okay. Well, I specifically am huge on manifestation practices. And as a manifestation coach, I am like, not just in your day-to-day practices, but also, again, how you set up your space will impact, you brought up like having affirmations on your desk or in your bathroom or in your room. Are there I know there are little things that you can do to a space to help you manifest your desires, but is that something that you bring into your practice as well?
Yeah, I do a lot of manifest, like I manifest, right? Naturally. So I think that a lot of what happens with me and that I would like the customer to understand, which is kind of going back to that visualization tool, is if you can actually see it, it will come to life. Yeah. And so that is why I created that as my first service because, words of affirmation, stones, all of that. I've always claimed things before they were mine. Like I have friends and they're like, I'm not going to say anything about this job because I'm worried that if I put it out there, that I'm going to jinx it. And I'm like, oh, no.
Jinxing is not a thing.
That's your job.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, you want that job?
Yeah.
because you got that job, right? Like that's your job.
Yeah.
Can you see yourself in that job?
Yeah.
Because that is your job.
Yeah.
And so it's the same way with a house. I mean,
that.
anything I ever wanted in my entire life, I didn't know that I wanted it until I could actually see it. And then once I saw it, there was no stopping me.
I love that.
And it's the same with anything that I create. I just, it's not luck. It's not like somebody just comes and gives me this hard work and says, it's not going to be hard. Like you can just do it. No, it's pure grit. It's passion. It's the vision. It's what I can see and it's what I go after. And so definitely visualizing.
Yes. I'm huge on that.
And if you're not clear in your mind what it is that you want, it doesn't matter how much you manifest. It's not going to come yet.
Yeah.
I truly believe that.
I agree with you. And I also think like you need to be able to embody just true joy and contentment in the here and now, whether that space is set as your ideal space yet or not. Like if you can't learn to embody true joy and contentment with your current circumstances, then your manifestation practices are just null, I feel. I mean, kind of a waste.
Or in general, let's just say.
in general.
Let's just say that, you know, customer can't afford the house that they can see themselves.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then this is a total real thing. I want to work with real everyday people. Like we're not in this like imaginary world where everybody's building these $1 million homes. I don't live in this area where that's happening. We are all settled into these spaces where we need to be happy where we're at. Because that is super important.
Yes.
So like just visualizing a peaceful environment and creating that is just as simple. I mean, what makes you happy? And that can be 3 daily rituals. Like that can be taking off your shoes and walking in that earth out there. That could be, you know, creating a little workout space because movement feeds your soul. And so we concentrate on having that space in your home where you have that little section where you can go to. I mean, there's so many things. It's not huge pictured. It's more like tiny stepping stones into the perfect place in your home and in your life.
Yeah. Let's talk about something that drives me absolutely crazy. We have been conditioned to believe that fixing our health has to come with a trade-off. Want better sleep? Cool, here's a pill. Oh, but here's some grogginess, dependency, and a list of other side effects. Are you struggling with your hormones? Here's a medication that might help one thing, but then it's going to mess up 3 other things. It's exhausting. And honestly, it's BS. When I was going through my fertility journey, I hit a breaking point because every medication came with side effects that impacted my physical and my mental health. And I finally got to a point where I was thinking, there has to be a better way. I refuse to accept that this is just how it has to be. That's when I found Earthly Wellness, and it completely shifted how I approach my health. Here's what I love about Earthly. They believe you should be empowered to make your own informed health choices. They create herbal remedies and body care products that support your health naturally with clean, non-toxic ingredients that you can actually recognize and pronounce. There's no side effects, no junk, no parabens, no fragrance, preservatives, or common allergens like corn, soy, gluten, dairy, or nuts. Just pure, effective products that actually work. I started with their Goodnight Lotion and Immune Aid Vitamin C, and then I got into their tinctures. And honestly, every single product I've tried has been a game changer in my life. They've supported me through my fertility journey, and I genuinely would not recommend them if I didn't believe in them wholeheartedly. And I'm not the only one, you guys. I've heard from clients and listeners who've experienced incredible shifts as well. One person said, my sleep has improved a ton since using the gut health oil. It in April, and almost 2 months later, my sleep has sustained. Another person shared, my menstrual cycle has been off for years, and the only supplement I added was the gut health oil. Since starting it, my cycle has been more regular. Here's the thing. Our society has normalized living with symptoms. It's messed up. Thyroid issues, hormonal imbalances, heavy, painful periods, daily bloating. We've been told that's just how it is. It's normal. But you guys, it doesn't have to be. These are symptoms, and there's an underlying root cause for all of them. Earthly has products that support not just the symptoms, but the root of what's going on. As a mental health therapist, I recommend Earthly products to my therapy clients all the time. I always suggest trying something holistic first and foremost, something that won't create dependency or side effects, and Earthly delivers on that every single time. They have products for all ages, body care, herbal remedies, vitamins, cleaning products, baby products, skincare. It's truly a one-stop shop for anyone who's ready to take their health into their own hands. So if you're tired of the side effects, tired of Band-Aid solutions, or just ready to invest in your health the right way, head to earthly.com using the link in my show notes. And here's the best part. If you're a first-time customer, you can use code CHOOSENATURAL, that's all caps, CHOOSENATURAL, for 10% off. If you're a returning customer, you can use code COMEBACK for 10% off. That's all caps, COMEBACK for 10% off as well. Your health is an investment. Make it a clean one. I totally agree. Just the other night, me and my girlfriends, we have a group chat and we were talking about, we just get into these really like in-depth conversations. We were talking about like, well, what does your dream life? And then it turned into dream home look like. One actually is hiring a holistic interior decorator and out in California. And she's like, can I have access to this episode before it goes live? Because I just want to know what to ask this woman. And I was like, yeah, sure. But she's very much into wallpaper. And she also just, we call ourselves like, we're the same person. We're practically soul sisters, but I'm the light and she's the dark. She loves Halloween. She loves black. Yeah. And she's just very attracted to wallpaper and just very much this like eclectic vision is what she has for herself. And that's her idea of her dream home, right? Like that's what feels home and cozy to her. Right. And I was like the total opposite. Like I said, I want that coastal beachy vibe and light and no wallpaper. And so it's just, I guess what I'm saying all this because I want people to think like, yeah, we're not talking about like $1 million mansions here, but you can make your home into your grounded sanctuary. Any space, big or small, it does not matter. You can make your home into your own sanctuary. Which I think we all need to have that mindset. I think we all should attempt to make our homes into that safe space because at the end of the day, if you can't go home and just truly ground yourself and unwind and feel, at peace, then something is wrong with that space. Like you should be able to do that at the end of the day. And if you truly can't do that, I think something's got to give here. You know what I mean? Like we live in everybody seems to be functioning from a fight or flight state so much more than they ever used to pre-COVID. And so I think now more than ever, that's why everybody deserves that. You know what I mean? Like,
and definitely with the Feng Shui map service. And I think that it's so important that people understand that these are like intentional moves of different things in your house. Yeah. The investment of what I usually have them, purchase or move or bring in is not these huge purchases that are going to be changing an entire home. And
that's great.
And this is energy.
Yes.
And these can be created with things that are tiny or sometimes it's not even a thing.
Oh, okay.
It has to do with you and how you move and where you put it. And I think it's super important that people understand that, can we build a house? I have a service for that where we can do a full service
from start to finish.
From start to finish, I can still do that. I mean, it's what I've been doing, right?
Yeah.
But I really, truly believe, and the Feng Shui plays into that, and it's great, but not everybody's redoing their house, but everybody has energy wrapped around them. I mean, the world is full of energy. Everything's energy.
Yeah, I would agree. Okay. I'm just going to put it out there. It's on my vision board. So at some point I'm hoping to manifest a vacation home in Arizona, specifically Sedona, because it's an energy.
I
figured you would. Yeah. And so I'm going to manifest you helping me design that. When that time comes, I'm just going to put that out there. Okay.
I love that.
Yeah. Because how cool would that be?
Oh my God.
And it's going to still have a tropical vibe, even though it's amongst the mountains, but that's okay. Again, going back to this Airbnb concept, if somebody wanted, I'm not going to design a home for it to solely be an Airbnb, but why would you not if you're not going to stay there year round? If somebody wanted to have you help them design a vacation home? I know you didn't build the home, so you're probably just coming in with your Feng Shui service, right? Like,
or design, or
yeah. I mean, if they're wanting to completely paint the space and update the space, trying to think what I want to ask you with this. I know there's a bunch of different directions you can go, but I guess what I'm wanting to know is, like, if you're specifically focused on a vacation home, so you just know there's constantly people coming and going, which means there's constantly energy coming and going. Is there something intentional that somebody can do with a space like that when you don't have complete control over the different energies that are coming in and out of the household? Like, regardless of like the history of the home, regardless of the person who owns the home, because normally you work with people who own homes, live in those homes, but we're talking about like constant energy flow coming in and out. How do you set up a home knowing that like you have these constant fluctuations of energies? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that what you're asking me is that you want me to help somebody who has, multiple people that are coming into their home, and what would they do
kind of
keep it like a nice steady flow of energy? I would
like
say,
a hotel, like you can't control the energies that are coming in and out of there.
No, you can't control it, but what does happen is that, there's still these grounding pieces that create this, environment where it's going to welcome every energy that comes in. Right?
Has that effect.
So we have that effect because we've already put like the paint, the textures, and all those things together.
True.
But then there's like cleaning and clearing.
Oh, yeah.
And so cleaning and clearing is, I think, maybe what you're kind of getting into without like knowing. Oh, there's different ways that we've learned in our Feng Shui practice to clear a space.
Yeah, talk about that a little bit. That's a whole nother.
And so, I will say that there's different ways to clear the space.
Okay.
And, most people would use like a sage.
Yeah. Right? Palo Santo specifically.
So, that would be like a nice, like, let's go around. And again, bringing that intention, right?
Yes.
Do you want to bring good energy in? Or are you going to remove the energy out?
Right.
What is the direction that you're going with it?
Yes.
What is the purpose?
Yeah.
Right? So you've got that. Then you're cleaning, right?
Okay.
So you're intentionally cleaning. So you can bring intention around your cleaning.
Yeah.
And that is then going to guide like why you're doing that. Mm-hmm. So like today, it's funny that you said that.
Yeah.
Because today I was cleaning the house, and
like this house needs.
Like this house. Well, I keep it up.
Okay.
I keep it up.
All right.
Yeah. Because I want good vibes. Right?
For sure.
And so, like, for instance, that mirror in the front was a little bit like, it was just a little cloudy,
Yeah.
So I was like, I want a clear opening from this mirror into this space. Mm-hmm. And so I intentionally, as I put the mirror there, and why I put the mirror there, I actually also cleaned the mirror, bringing that same intention of clarity.
Yeah.
Because it's placed there for a reason.
Right.
And now I want that to stay open. And so I definitely think intention behind cleaning is a really big deal. But when it comes to the Feng Shui, a lot of the adjustments that we give to our clients, there's a lot of exchange of energy. Mm-hmm. And then I have teachers who taught me. So in order to, honor them, we use red envelopes. And so these red envelopes, like you would pay me in these red envelopes.
Yes.
And there would be 9 of them.
Oh, cool.
And you would send them to me. And you would put your offering in there, and that is the way that you and I are exchanging the things that I'm going to give you to do to your home.
Interesting.
And they're going to be, whether it's chanting, whether it's, clearing, whether it's, specific things that we get into. Again, which is why a lot of the really deep work will happen when you do the actual house thing. But there are definite ways for clearing. I think the easiest way is that if somebody was coming in and out of here, which people come in and out of here all the time, I had my really good girlfriend and her husband came with, and they, did the whole house for me, and she was cleaning, and her energy stayed in this home. Like, I didn't touch anything, and I did that on purpose because I love her so hard. And I just wanted her energy to kind of stay there. It was quite the blessing. It can be equally as good to have certain people in your space, right?
Right.
But if you feel a shift, there's things.
Okay. I love that.
Hopefully I answered it.
No, you did. I guess sometimes I know what I want to get from you or from my collabs in general. And sometimes I'm just like, I don't know how to put this in question form. I just know I want to know something.
Yeah.
But the clearing I think is so important because I just think in the world, again, where everybody's like Airbnbs are just so common, but you're having that constant flow of some good energy and some maybe not so good. I also think that does come into play though in a home too. We're going into the holiday season prior or after recording this. And again, like that flow of some negative or interesting energies sometimes coming into the home. And that feng shui comes into play with all of that, I feel like. So, okay. So for somebody who wants to access your services, would you say, I mean, because you are in the Midwest, in more of a rural area, would you say it's something that's affordable to most?
I would think that, I think that affordable means like, what is somebody willing to spend?
Yes.
And do they think that it's worth the investment?
Priorities.
Exactly.
What's a priority for you right now?
I would say that because I've been in this work for a really long time and I believe that energy deserves an exchange.
I agree.
The exchange that I've put on my services perfectly set and very intentionally done.
Good.
For the amount of work that I'm going to put in and for the amount of
the value that you
they're going to get what they paid for.
Definitely.
So I would say that it's definitely worth the investment.
100%.
I mean, my biggest service for some, they'd be like, oh my God, that's a lot of money because it starts at 18 grand.
Yeah.
And that's because it's a full house.
Yeah. And start to finish, right?
That could be like a small house at 18 grand. I mean, I need to know, like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
How long is, how many rooms? I mean, I need to be,
I love that.
My energy, my time, my expertise, and what I bring to the table is very valuable. And I've seen people create on top of what I've created and found, a very open path to their taste and not need me anymore, that I definitely think that it's affordable for the person who's willing to invest in themselves.
Yes. I love that answer. Sounds like you've worked through any limiting beliefs around money.
I have. And I have to tell you that the main like limiting belief was that I actually enjoy what I do.
Yeah.
I want it to be accessible to everybody because I just know that everything that I give is so like, it's just like these little scatters of glitter. And I just know that, people could just be happy if I help them. But I also know that it sucks the living energy out of me to give more than I get. Yeah. And I had to shift that. And
Good
this
for
new
you.
business is definitely
good. It feels like it's soul aligned for you.
Thank you. Yeah. I really have put a lot of thought and effort, not just in the design, but really truly into the services themselves, why I'm serving the customers with these specific services, why they play into the role that they do, and how it can definitely be like a buildable thing. So they can afford it and start at the lowest part, which is really tuning into who they are and what they want.
And your ideal client would have no problem paying your fees. And that's what you should believe. And you obviously do. So,
and I know I'm not for everyone. No.
Which is fine.
And
not everyone is your ideal client.
And I don't want to be.
No. And so, niching down is so important. Yeah. I mean, I completely agree. And you have to believe there's an abundance of your ideal clients out there just waiting to find you.
Exactly.
Yeah. That desire wouldn't have been put on your heart otherwise. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just fully
Those are
that.
Beautiful words. And I will hold that because I truly believe the same. And I've done a lot of work around that. So thank you for this.
It does not sound like you have any scarcity mindset around your business and what you do, which I'm like, girl, I'm here for that. I
also have like 15 jobs and do a lot of things that I love. So I do know that if I'm going to tune into this and this is what I'm going to be doing during the day and helping somebody, that it's going to be because they want me to be there helping them. Yeah. Because I don't have to like enter it thinking like, oh, got to go to work. It's like, no, I get to do this work.
Yeah.
Like I am choosing to do this work because this work lights not only me, but the people I'm working with. And I am completely sure that by the time that we are done, that they'll be really happy.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe that at my core. Yeah. And they're not, I just feel like with the work you do, they're not just getting an average interior decorator off the street. You know what I mean? They're getting an intuitive. They're getting, I know you're not officially, but like they're getting an energy worker or getting somebody who holds space for them. I don't know. They're not just getting an interior designer with you. There's so much more that you bring to the table. It's like how I feel about my therapy and my coaching services. It's like, yes, you're getting therapy with me, but I'm also a psychic. I can channel for you. I'm intuitive. There's so much more that they're getting with me, and same with my coaching. I could say the same thing. And so if you can see the value in what you bring to the room, hypothetical room, then you should have no problem charging what you think you are worth or what you think your time is worth.
And if we're like thinking of everything as like a room or space, I think the only shift comes when somebody else like changes that. You know, the energy that other people bring is just as important to the work that I'm bringing. If they're coming in doubting it from the beginning just because they want to like get into the space and understand the energy and what it is that I do, they're not going to get a lot out of it. And that's not going to be my problem. It's because they weren't being true to why they hired me.
Yes.
I cleared all of my services, and I make sure that everything is very, very much so accessible to everybody, how to start, where to go, and why they want me to help them do this work.
I love that. One final comment I want to make before we wrap things up is, you know, when I look at my line of work as a therapist and as a coach, I feel very firmly that part of my soul's mission in this current lifetime is to help people speak their truth more, open that throat chakra more. This just came to me as you were talking, but like you pretty much do the same thing, but with physical spaces, right? Like this land, these properties that you go into or that you help people with, like there's a story behind it. And it's almost like you help bring those stories to light. You help bring them to the surface so that they're not like stuffed down and pushed away, and that all impacts the energy of a space. And
I really think that a house speaks.
Yeah.
Because I hear it. Like, and I don't hear it in this weird way where I walk in. Like, it takes some time. I definitely notice a lot of things that maybe other people wouldn't notice.
I bet you do.
And so when I'm in someone's house, it's not only noticing like what they like because they gave me like mood boards, but I'm also noticing what the house likes and what their like old taste was and the items that they brought in the house from their other life in their other home that had its own story.
Oh, wow.
Because I really truly believe that starting completely over, yes, that's a thing.
Yeah.
But, you know, we all need to see things in a new light. And I think if people were more open to exploring instead of just going shopping because they feel like they need something else, if they were seen with their things and shifted just a little bit to like it representing something else, it can just become so much more beautiful. And that's how I feel about a space. You know, I think that you don't have to like necessarily always take things down to the studs to make them beautiful. You know, there is, you know, a clearing that can happen with just such simple like things. And it depends on their budget and what they're willing to invest or how much they want to invest in this year, but what their like, you know, end goal is. And when you think of something so specifically, it becomes so beautiful. And it's not about starting over. It's about meeting yourself, your place, your life, where it's at.
Oh, wow. Beautifully said. I'm just wondering, do your friends and family, do they get intimidated by you coming to their houses because of, because as you're talking, I'm like, oh God, I don't know if I want you coming to my house, like you're going to judge me.
This is why I don't have any friends. No, like it's so funny because my mom came over here to this house and she loves this house. She just loves this little space. And she's just so proud.
Yeah, she is. Love the emotion. I love what's coming up to the surface for you.
It takes a second.
Let it sit with it.
So she said to me, like a couple days before I was done with the space, they were going to come and take pictures. And she just looked at me and she goes, don't you just sit here and smile?
Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. And sometimes I just have to admit that I'm so in it. And I'm trying to make everything so perfect that you have to take a step back and you have to like look at it and know that, you know, I'm human, right? My clients are human. And we all want this perfect aesthetic that's just going to be so pretty for this picture. Like, you know what? That doesn't matter.
No, it does not.
Because I can take 50 pictures and you know what? It doesn't look or feel the same in person. If I could like explain this to people, I am in it. I've done it.
Yeah.
I've done it multiple times.
Yeah,
I've been in other people's spaces. I've been in it. I've seen them do it multiple times. We've spent lots of money. We're at the end. It's still not perfect. Sit with it. Just sit with it, because the truth is that if you find appreciation in every single thing that you're doing, you will be happy.
Wow. There's a reason we did this in person, you guys.
Because for the crying,
just everything. Some of the questions I asked, I did not have on my outline. So just like intuitively what's coming up for us is just so interesting. And looking at the time, like this is going to be a 2-part. This is a 2-part collab for that reason. Okay, before I wrap up, because I do want to do some rapid fire questions with you. What's next for you? Any exciting offers? What do you want listeners to know if they're like, I want this woman? How can I get a hold of her? I'll put everything in show notes, but do you want to share how people can reach out to you? What's the best way of communicating with you?
Yeah. So what's next? I mean, I'm just going to keep continuing to share and pour into my writing. I love to write.
Oh,
it's literally one of my favorite things ever. So if I was to like manifest something, it's going to be my book. I have a lot to say. And it's been a journey, and I would love to share that one day.
So you're currently in the writing process?
I'm currently in the writing process.
What's the genre?
Creating, it's probably going to be about, this journey in life, and how I got here and the whole thing. But it's definitely going to be something that I'm manifesting, and I can see it. Like, I can see the book.
Love
so that is kind of what would be forward from here, because honestly, like, I'm living my dream life at this moment.
That's what I love to hear you.
Yeah, like I've created the balance in between all of my things that I love and my family life, and everything feels right there.
So there might be a future collab once the book is published, so that we can bring her on to talk about the book.
And then all the jobs along the way for the people that, want to work with me, and all of those pictures and stories. Like, there's a lot that can go into this book. I've already have a lot of stories, but you could find me at the Alchemy House.
Yes.
And thealchemyhouse.com is where my website is. I am
It's German house.
So that is, that's cool.
Yeah, I love it.
So you can find me there. And I am just going to keep pouring out a lot of reasons behind all of these things. I think educating my customer, and it takes a long time.
It does.
I don't
to build
think
that trust and whatnot.
Yeah. And I'm not sitting here tomorrow thinking that I need to have 200 customers, because to be honest, I only want the right customers. So if somebody feels called to work with me, if they feel that my voice has, sparked something in their heart, or, made them kind of feel like what you are searching for, that it exists. Yeah. My God, this is here. Yeah. And I'm ready for it. I definitely would feel open to receiving that customer.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put it out there that after this episode goes live, that you will have one, if not more, knocking at your door. Like, you coming on the podcast is going to open the door for a new client, customer.
That's exciting.
Yeah, that'll happen for you.
Thank you for the love.
Yeah. Do you prefer people to DM you or email you, or is there a contact
they can DM me or email me, or go to alchemyhouse.com. There is a whole contact form. Awesome. They can explore all of my services, and then they put their information in, and then it actually like funnels into more reasons why with pricing.
Yes.
And then they can kind of evaluate whether or not that works for them.
Okay. Love it. Okay, ready for some rapid fire questions? Okay. What's one room in your house that instantly raises your vibe?
This house or my house?
Your house, yeah.
Okay, my actual house.
Yeah, that's what I'm most interested in. Yeah.
Bedroom.
Sorry, my mind goes to dirty places, but I love that. What is a favorite crystal or item that you always incorporate into your designs?
That's a hard one.
I know. I would agree.
Always incorporate?
I know. After I asked that, I'm
because I feel like I don't always incorporate the same things in anything.
Like, do you always incorporate crystals? Because not everybody, I don't know. Maybe that's not a thing.
I would say that I definitely could. I gotta think about it.
Or maybe like, what's a common item or crystal that you incorporate quite a bit into your designs?
You know what? Like, with this rapid question, I feel like I need to like have the signature a little like drop, because I don't have one yet.
Well, I always take out the pauses. You
that is so funny. Yeah, I would say probably mirrors.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I would say mirrors, because they make a big impact.
I could see that now. It makes me want to add more into my house. So, okay, what is a design trend that you wish would just go away forever with interior decorating?
White.
Oh, awesome.
White.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm over it. Yeah, I get that. I think that's a good tip. What's a non-negotiable for every sacred space?
Paint.
You must paint.
It has to be painted. Like, even if it's like one color. Yeah.
It's a must do. If your soul were a paint color, what would it be?
Chocolate brown.
Interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I could see that now, like looking in this space.
Chocolate brown.
Wow. Linda, thank you so much for agreeing to this. I cannot believe this download just came to me out of thin air, and I'm glad I acted on it and just on a whim messaged you. And here we are today in person doing this collab. And I personally feel, because this is not a common topic that you hear about on just any podcast, I feel it's a lot of value. And yeah, I hope someday I can bring you on again, and maybe we can go down a whole nother rabbit hole with one of these topics. Yeah, preferably. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I already know I'm going to use you for my business at some point. Like, I already know my therapy office will need to be revamped.
I love that.
So,
and especially therapy office.
Mm-hmm.
I've done a therapy office. It's pretty amazing.
I think it would be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we'll work together for sure professionally, and then hopefully at some point personally.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
My vacation home. Thank you again for coming on. I really appreciate it. And you guys, as always, if there's anything about this episode that just really resonated with you or intrigues you, or you have questions, you can DM me, you can DM Linda. But as always, if you haven't yet, please rate and review the podcast. I really appreciate it. If you do leave a review, just know I will do a shout out in a future episode, because I just want you guys to know how much I appreciate my listeners. All right, guys, until next time, have a great rest of your week.
Real quick before you go, I just want to thank you so much for spending a little time with me today. And congratulations on showing up for you. Every step you take to invest in yourself brings you that much closer to your next level self, and I'm so proud of you. If you loved this episode, share it with someone who could use a little inspiration, or take a screenshot and tag me on socials so we can keep spreading the next level you energy. Thanks again for tuning in, and I can't wait to see you in the next episode. Let's freaking go!